What is authority? Here we are going to talk about what authority is, how it influences your research, and the different types of authority we see in information sources. Often we associate authority with ideas of power, control, and knowledge. For research, it's helpful to think of authority as a type of influence or knowledge recognized or exerted within a community. This definition references both power and knowledge, and also critically references community as well, because authority is contextualized by community, and different communities recognize different types of authority. For example, in the academic community, we recognize teachers as having authority, both power and knowledge. But in our larger societal community, politicians are likely seen as having more power than teachers. So different communities in different situations recognize authority in different ways. How does authority influence your research? You need a diverse variety of information sources in order to deepen your understanding of a topic, including different ways that people are approaching your topic. And then you're going to leverage that authority, that experience and expertise that people bring to your topic to become knowledgeable on the topic itself. And that's ultimately what research is. It's borrowing the knowledge of other people and making use of the information they have to develop your own knowledge and understanding of your topic. When we look at the different types of authority in our information sources, we can see why it's so important to include a diverse variety of information sources in research. The three different types of authority we're going to cover include special experience, societal position, and subject expertise. Special experience includes the lived day-to-day experiences, insights, and conversations related to your topic. In identifying special experience, you can ask, who are the people associated with or impacted by your topic? Often you'll find these sources in places like social media, discussion forums and message boards, and on the open web. Societal position includes professionals with elevated platforms wherein they can share information. So journalists are one example of societal position. Politicians might be another example. In identifying societal position, you can ask, who are the people reporting or giving speeches on your topic? These are sources talking about your topic to a very large audience and are found in places like newspapers, news broadcasts, and politicians' official social media accounts. Subject expertise includes scholarly or expert-based sources. So these are published studies, journal articles, scientists, etc. In identifying subject expertise, you can ask, who are the people who are studying your topic? Typically, these sources are found in academic journals, like the ones you can access in library databases. Scholarly research has traditionally favored scholarly sources, or those with subject expertise. So why do we need different types of authority? One of my research interests includes looking at the use of social media in social justice movements. So let's consider I'm writing a paper that requires doing some research on the movement Black Lives Matter. If we operate from this older idea of scholarly sources as being the only sources with credibility or authority, then in studying Black Lives Matter, I would only be looking at a scholarly sociological or psychological or political science-framed analysis of what this movement is. But of course, if you want to develop knowledge of Black Lives Matter as a movement, it is also incredibly helpful to read the writings and work and look at communication between activists who are on the ground. That's how special experience is acknowledged and valued in research, because activists in Minneapolis or Baltimore or Oakland are going to have a much different perspective on Black Lives Matter as a movement than the scholars who are studying it from a discipline-focused distance. But both are useful. I would need both to comprehensively understand what the movement is, or to deepen my understanding of Black Lives Matter. Societal position, for example, would be, how does the New York Times cover the movement? How does the Washington Post or the San Francisco Chronicle write about the protests and rallies and activists? So these are the three different types of authority that are going to enrich your understanding, and all of them are important. If we're doing a research paper on Black Lives Matter and we only look at scholarly sources, we'd miss a critical voice that is necessary toward understanding what the movement is. That voice isn't found in academic journals. In fact, it's historically been excluded from academic journals, as are most marginalized voices. But it can be found in places like social media, especially Twitter, and on the open web. Remember, different communities recognize different types of authority in different ways, and your research benefits from including diverse and varied perspectives related to your topic. These perspectives will help you to understand and enrich your own knowledge of your topic.